The Entertainment Software Rating System, also known as the ESRB, is that goofy looking sticker in the bottom left corner of the case of the game you just bought that no one under the age of 13 even understands. Now, as the title suggests, yeah, it's pretty pointless. But before we get into how exactly it is pointless, we need to look into how it started. So if you don't mind joining me as we look into a brief history of the ESRB. Before the ESRB was created, there was really no way to regulate games. Games with questionable and mature-ish type of content has been around for a long time as well. Death Race, for example, an arcade game where you ran over gremlins, avoiding any tombstone the gremlins left behind. However, back then, this could be considered disturbing, which would attract media attention. But then a game that was significantly worse would release. In 1982, a game called Custer's Revenge would release on the Atari 2600, and if you know this game, you know how awful this whole game's existence is. If you don't know, well, I can't exactly say it without a possible age restriction or a strike, but yes, you are a cowboy doing disgusting things to a Native American woman. I don't know how this game was made or who thought this was okay, but it does exist. Now, even though it was a bunch of pixels, that may be hard to comprehend what's happening, the whole idea and the meaning of the game definitely should not have been made. Now, when heading into the 90s, games were improving in both graphics and sound quality. A court case on violence in video games in 1992 would happen, targeting two games in specific, Mortal Kombat and Night Trap. Night Trap, if you don't know, is an interactive movie. I'm not joking, that's all it is. While Mortal Kombat, kids definitely shouldn't be playing that. Night Trap looked to be on par with movies releasing around its time. After his court cases, though, group of heads of the industry like EA, Nintendo, and Sega formed a trade group that would be named the Entertainment Software Association in 1994, which would lead to the creation of the ESRB, also known as the Entertainment Software Rating Board, which would also be the first rating system to have brief descriptions of whatever it is in the media it is rating. Now that we got down a somewhat brief history of it, let's look into what it does. Now, the ESRB, of course, has 7 ratings, in all reality only really 6. Rating pending. This is usually used in promotion for games that are under the process of getting rated. E for everyone, which used to be called Kids to Adult until 1998, and it would be changed to E for everyone. But for some reason there was trademark issues with another company over the letter E. E10 Plus. This is for games with any form of mild violence, language, or minimal suggestive themes. T for teen. Now, what game is rated this these days? Halo. Mature. A lot of games released with this rating, and it really is just for violent games mostly. Adult only. Now, this is probably the rarest rating, only 27 games ever releasing with this, and some having to change their game to not get the rating so they could release on consoles. Now, how do games get this rating? Porn. Violence is also a factor, and gambling that uses real money, but it's usually because too much boobs. All of the games that were released with it though, yeah, just by the name, you can see why these would get an AO rating. Now, there is actually a rating that was retired, which was the early childhood rating. This was retired back in 2018. It was for games made for a preschool audience. Why doesn't Fortnite have this rating? But because of the rarity of its use, because yes, this rating was hardly ever used, probably never even seen it on a game case in your life. Well, yes, the ESRB and any rating system for that matter is necessary. We do need these to identify what games could be bad for kids or something that you may not like seeing. However, despite these age ratings displaying who should be playing this game, there were still issues with these games for being dangerous for children when they see their kids playing Call of Duty. Like, no shit, it's too violent. It was rated M for 17 plus. Your 9-year-old should not be playing the game. That is nobody's fault but your own for being negligent. Most retailers wouldn't even sell games rated M, which are the most violent games, to minors. They wouldn't even sell them to minors. And a rating system shows what the game contains. Well, yes, video games are violent, and some being probably pretty bad for kids, but that is on the parent. If a game has something you don't think your kid is quite ready for, then keep your kid away from playing the game. The age rating, the stupid looking logo in the corner of your game's cover, it seems to get overlooked way too much when people buy games. Now, they don't always get their ratings right. Oh, sexual content, you say? E for everyone, fun for the whole family. Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl both had the T rating, and you may ask what caused this rating? Nothing. There is nothing here to make it anything higher than an E10+. Maybe the idea of Mario getting the shit beaten out of him upset some people, that were rating the game. A game called Snatcher had someone decapitated, blood splattering, and even had organs being visible. Its rating? T. Brawl is in the same rating as this. Those are just some examples of the botch ratings, and there will definitely be more to come. Well, yes, the ESRB rating systems are necessary, especially for video games. What a worse world we would be if sexy games wasn't regulated. The problem here is that parents will buy a game for their kid and they will not pay attention to the rating that is on the game, and then they will blame the developers for making a violent game available for children. I feel like parents and anyone really should stop being negligent to the ESRB rating, because if no one's gonna listen to it and then get mad at the developers for making a violent game, why even have the rating? But that is all for me. Like and subscribe, please. I put in a lot of effort in these videos. And if you enjoyed the video, good. Now goodbye.